The topic of interest is living in multicultural worlds and the difference in birthing rituals process. Moving to a new culture can be intriguing and terrifying at the same time, involving a huge amount of psychological adjustment. Acculturation is cultural modifications of an individual group or people by adapting to or borrowing traits from another culture in adjustment. There are two adjustment strategies. Assimilation involves an attempt to fit in and fully participate in the host culture with a positive attitude. Separation strategy involves maintaining the heritage culture with positive attitude and negative attitude towards the host culture. Pitfalls of acculturation. You can be adapting to habits and the ways of thinking that work effectively in the new culture, but it may not always be the best thing for you as an individual. Some of the habits could not be good health-wise or unethically, period. I want to elaborate on the birth process in some cultures versus in the United States. For starters, pregnant women are not all treated equally in all cultures. Some women are worshipped as goddesses because they are with child. In America, some work a full-time job until their due date. Also, some cultures, you birth at home with a doula or a midwife. In other cultures, you give birth in a hospital. My examples in the cultural birthing differences are going to be Bali, China, and the United States. In Bali, the birth is under supervision of a doula. By tradition, when the baby is born, the placenta is considered alive like a twin sibling of the newborn, so it is clean just like the actual baby. It is a ritual to place the placenta in a coconut or container buried outside of the home as part of their intricate and detailed ceremony with a mantra, which is a sacred prayer. Interesting fact is that they also do not let the baby touch the ground until 105 days, after a prayer and a gathering is done blessing the baby. In China, the husbands are not present during the birth of the child. The birthing position is sitting or squatting because that's the natural form of the body to best deliver. After the birth, for the woman to rest at her mother's home for 1 month consuming warm foods to bring the body temperature down after the birth. In the United States, whether you have a midwife, a home delivery, or hospital, the birthing process is monitored by a professional. It is very popular in this culture to have birth in a hospital laying on your back. If you're having any difficulties, it is more common to have a C-section. Within 3 days, you are back home with your baby, and some women return to work or normal life anywhere from 2 to 6 weeks. I leave you with this question. If you moved to this country with this type of culture, would you adapt to the assimilation strategy or separation strategy pertaining to the birthing process? Would you feel out of place if you went against the stereotype of birthing at a hospital? Would there be identity denial if a woman chooses to go to her own home versus her mother's after the child's birth? I think the best way about living in a multicultural world is practicing blending, which is portraying psychological tendencies between the two cultures. It's a good way of keeping both knowledge and experiences traditional that is suitable for each.